Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise you I will update daily. If you like this watch, you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing the latest generation Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date 40. This is reference 228239 40mm in Rolex's 18-karat gray gold, a white gold alloy that never needs to be rhodium plated and if scratched, simply has more white gold beneath. So premium white gold made in Rolex's own foundry, and the second generation Big Day-Date launched in 2015. This one succeeded the slightly smaller but dimensionally quite distinct Rolex Day-Date 2. Let's talk about how this watch fits. Yes, it's 40mm in diameter from 9 to 3, not including the crown, but where this one really improves its ergonomic argument over the Day-Date 2 is its lug-to-lug dimension. This one measures 47.4mm lug-to-lug, and because the new Day-Date 40 President bracelet features pivoted end links, the lug-to-lug measurement is the true span across the wrist. It's also a thin watch, 12mm thick with a generously sloped, fluted white gold bezel. This one slides underneath not just the jacket cuff, but the shirt beneath. This is a substantial watch, make no mistake. Very heavy in white gold. It's an absolute pleasure to feel this much mass with so much class, but it is a supple, gentle giant. The Big Day-Date featuring the traditional President bracelet, always a little bit more robust than the 5-link Jubilee, but also more supple than the big 3-link Oyster. This one combines the best of both with a design that has been associated with the Day-Date since inception in the 50s. You will note polished center links, polished outer flanks, and shoulders in satin for contrast. On the underside, this works well as a sports watch because the bracelet does vent the wrist very well. You can see those gaps to let moisture, heat, sweat, grit, and oil escape on a hot day. This is a 100-meter water-resistant sports watch, so you may as well have a bracelet to match. The crown clasp, always the only sign of the partition between the two sides of the bracelet, keeps it low profile and clean. You can note that the internals of the clasp, as with all flagship Rolex models, fully finished with no machined or burred sides or edges. This is a fully finished product, industrially exquisite. Rolex may not be known for hand craftsmanship, but what they make is industrially perfect. You either love Rolex or you respect Rolex. I can't stand people who hate Rolex because objectively, the watches are too well made to hate. If you're a hater, you just don't get it, or you're trying too hard to be different. So whether you respect Rolex or love Rolex, you have to admit, this is not the modern Rolex super case profile. This is the traditional Rolex case profile. Beloved of Rolex enthusiasts, we've seen it on Datejusts, dates, Day-Dates, and Daytonas. It's fluid, it's shapely, it has sensuous compound curves, and I love the way the light plays across its surface. It looks natural and correct in high polish. It's one of the few watches that doesn't look garish when finished as such. The bezel, also of white gold, features a gorgeous gem-like faceting. It almost looks like the bezel is a metallic cut gem. It has that same sharp and strong creased quality to it. Getting as close as we can to the dial, this is one of the highlights of the Day-Date 40, because with the Day-Date 40, the dial was fundamentally rethought. First, lasers are now used to create the textures of the dial. Second, there were some subtle refinements to the proportion of the cyclops as well as the date and the day windows. You'll also note that the stylized Roman numerals, which are faceted and hand-applied, I've mentioned, Rolex doesn't feature much hand craftsmanship these days, except in the assembly of the dial, which still includes a large amount of hand placement of applique, and this one features gorgeous applique and complex applique, some of which include more than one individual component to create a numeral. White gold numerals, white gold crown, white gold hands, and what Rolex calls a quadrant dial texture. It is a silvery white, and each quadrant of the dial, if you were to split it laterally and vertically, features a directional texture that helps to express that quadrant as a distinct sector of the dial. Now, inside the case, new tech. This is another area where the watch really creates some space between it and the previous Day-Date 2. This features the Rolex Caliber 3255. The big change is the power reserve, which jumps from 48 hours to 70 hours. You get a free-sprung balance with a full balance bridge for shock resistance. You get an overcoil hairspring for resistance to gravitationally induced timing deviation, or the effect that gravity has on the timing of your watch. And you get a parachrom blue niobium zirconium alloy for the hairspring itself, which is then blue oxidized. all of those features helping it to become robustly anti-magnetic. Screw down crown, 100-meter water resistance. The watch also features hacking or stop seconds, so if you thread out the crown and pull it to extremity, you will stop the balance and hold the seconds hand for synchronizing precisely. There's also a double quickset function, so you can rapidly cycle the date as well as the day should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. Is there more? You better believe it. Rolex certifies the bare movement as a COSC Swiss chronometer, but then it cases up the movement, and the recased movement as a complete watch is then checked to time no worse than +2, -2 seconds per day. So better than a chronometer as a fully assembled watch. Not many COSC certified watches can boast the same. Beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour and pivoting on 31 joules, it's a bidirectional winder, so you will never hear or feel the winding rotor. The epitome of refinement. As I said, you either love Rolex or respect it. Haters gonna hate. But you know what? Those are the guys who will never own a Day-Date. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox.